It's the NFL on EA Sports, where representatives from the AFC and NFC will square off. It's the Niners and the Titans, next on Madden NFL 24.
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Tennessee Titans. From up top next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, we were already excited for this game. And then before the contest, you and I are down on the field outside the white lines.
Yes, we were following the rules.
We were following the rules, and a ball comes over our direction, but we can't see it. Somebody yells heads up, and instinctively you turn around and you snare it one-handed with your off left hand. So now we're really ready for football.
No gloves either.
No gloves.
No gloves. Not like what the guys are wearing playing the game now. But wasn't that a whole lot better than that time we were down there? And I got the coffee spilled on me when I got nailed by the punt returner.
That happened to the Vikings, right?
Yes, a much better job of being heads up this time. Thank you for the notice.
Here's the Australian-born punter Mitch Wishnowsky to get things going. And off we go from Nashville. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And from the 34, here's 2nd and 4. Play action now. Levis. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. That's his first catch of the game, and an impressive one against multiple defenders.
And how about that start? Really aggressive. Yeah, there was double coverage out there, but that didn't stop them at all. They went right at it and defeated it on that play.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This a 2nd and 8. Back to throw, it's Levis. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Leonard Floyd just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Now that's a heck of a moment for your first sack of the game, because if this long drive ends without a touchdown because of that sack, we're going to look back and say that might be one of the biggest plays of this contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
Now on 4th down, here's Ryan Stonehouse to punt for Tennessee. He'll send this up into the Nashville skyline, and it's a good one. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And you'd think as a young QB there'd be some nerves leading an offense out to start a game, but haven't seen any sign of them right now. And speaking with him earlier this week, sensed that the pressure wouldn't get to him. He feels comfortable being the face of this offense and shouldering the expectations on game day, even if he doesn't quite have the years of experience other quarterbacks do.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10 at the 20. They start on the ground with McCaffrey, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw, Purdy. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Purdy looking to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
One of the things we always talk about heading into a game, who's going to set the tone early, and very early on here, we're seeing the defense is showing they're going to continue to break pressure.
They smelled that early 3 and out, brought the pressure, and the hit forced the incompletion. Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. With it is Jackson. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return, and it'll be Titan football. The Titans coming back onto the field for their 2nd drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Well, they go play action. Here's Levis. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the 1st quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Levis on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Levis looking to throw. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
Levis now on 2nd down. It's complete to Hopkins. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Here's Levis. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's going to have this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Niners' 14. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll run with Pollard. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Levis to throw it. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Will Levis, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Titans get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
What an effort there. Sometimes you hold your breath a bit when you see your quarterback diving for the end zone. You don't want him to land on a shoulder wrong or take a big shot. But he looks none the worse for wear here, and that winds up a touchdown.
Folk connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the drive was capped off with a touchdown run by Will Levis. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From his end zone, here's Trent Taylor. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their 2nd drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. Touchdown, 49ers! Deebo Samuel, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Niners are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Moody good with the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Titans set and ready to go on offense.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Levis. He completes it to Ridley. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Now Levis. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after 1. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Levis from the gun. He finds his man, Pollard. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 33. A gain there of 21 yards.
This one was all about clearing space for this play to work because he's going to leak out of the backfield to his right, then angle his way up the field. And a really pretty throw to put it on him and create the big play downfield.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, down at the 33. Running right, it's Pollard. Shoves him away. Taken down at the 30.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
A 2nd and 7 with our score tied at 7, but they're planning to change that soon. Only question, will they get 3 or 6 out of it? Here's Pollard again. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
Jet sweep, Boyd with it. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Excellent effort defensively. Tackle for loss goes to Leonard Floyd. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 42 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing, because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. And no signs of the field goal unit. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Pollard. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10. Little bootleg here. Levis. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Levis back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Levis sets up to throw here. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. Folks, kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
In most pass defenses, the guy playing safety has the ability to roam free and try and go to the football. But when you're in man, you've got to cover just like a guy playing out on the corner. Lock up on the receiver and go to the football. That's exactly what he did, batting that one away.
Purdy with it on 3rd and long. George Kittle. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. A 1st down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now Purdy. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Again, it's Purdy to throw it. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just talking about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Throwing here, Purdy. Throw outside. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. It'll go as a gain of 4. And it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Going for it, it's Mitchell. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies.
Trying for Ayuk, but it's intercepted. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the Titans are going to have it here at their own 15.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
Offense back out there, and we shine the spotlight on the Memphis man, Tony Pollard. He's over 40 yards here in the 2nd quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. First and 10. Here's Levis. That is incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Back to throw, it's Levis. This is caught, it's Boyd. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. Now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Drops this underneath for Pollard. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Now 2nd and 5. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
So many qualities coaches tick off when they talk about, hey, what is it going to take to make an excellent quarterback? accuracy has to rank near the top of every list.
Talk about arm strength, that's great. Mobility, great, but you need that accuracy in there. That one well in front of his man.
Yeah, now they got to face a big third down.
And Levis going back to the air. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 16. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Levis looking to throw. And it's caught. And so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And down here, 1st and goal, if it's not there, don't force it. You've got at least 2, if not 3 more shots at it. So that's a wise move to get rid of it.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Again, it's Levis looking to throw it. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Good coverage yet again down here by the goal line. Everyone's blanketed, and he's forced to throw it away and try and come up with something on 3rd down.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The Folks kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Purdy. Open man is Juwan Jennings. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. Up the gut, McCaffrey. Despite the strong run, he'll be hit and dropped shy of the 45. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And he is going to have a 49ers first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there. And
here's a diving catch right side. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. On first down, Purdy. He'll get this out right here to McCaffrey. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing on second down, it's Purdy. This caught by Latu, the tight end. And the Niners are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then of course they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
Purdy sets up to throw again. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. 2 incompletions haven't moved them any closer, and likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Great defense there on 3rd and goal. They took away everything. Forced him to fire that one to the sideline where no one could get it.
So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And his kick is indeed good. And that will cut the lead back down to 3 at 13-10. So they were facing the deficit coming out of the locker room at intermission, and at least they're able to get the field goal to cut into that deficit.
Yeah, now your offense feels pretty good about itself, right? A little bit more up to speed coming out of the break. You turn to your defense now and say, hey, we got 3 there. We're chipping into the lead. Can you help us out? Hold them. Let's get the ball back for us.
The 49ers ready to kick it away, and here we go. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Titans offense gears up for their first possession of the second half. Levis to throw on 1st and 10 here. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
On 1st down, Levis. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Levis to throw it. Caught left side, Hopkins. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
1st and 10, it's Levis. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
2nd 10 coming up here in Nashville. 3rd quarter action. Pollard will take it up the gut. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 66 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Pollard is not going to get in here as they push him back to the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
Levis to throw off play action. Keeps himself upright. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
3rd and goal. Here's Levis. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Chigakonkwo, a 2-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Out on the field now, here come the 49ers. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They'll try to get the running game going with McCaffrey. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, they run. Again, it's McCaffrey. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. And they call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Levis now on 1st and 10. He'll complete this one. Chigakonkwo. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. A give to Pollard, running left. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville. It's the Titans. They've got the football. They'll be looking to extend their lead here as we begin the 4th quarter. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Levis. He finds his man, Pollard.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now a give here to Pollard.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19.
104 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
First down, and it's Pollard again.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
That whole thing was thrown off track thanks to the defense of Fred Warner. Really nice play.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Off the play fake, Levis.
DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And all the way down inside the 5 of the 4. 18 yards there, and it'll be a first and goal.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
They'll set up to run the quarterback draw.
And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Tried to go draw play out of the gun down here.
Yeah, they tried to spread things out, didn't they? They wanted to move people away from the center of the field, away from the line of scrimmage near the ball, so that the runner could find some space. Unsuccessfully, though.
Little bootleg here. Levis. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
Now Levis.
Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Calvin Ridley, a 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Titans are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Extra point up and good by Folk, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
On the return, it's Taylor from his end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
And San Francisco gets set to go here.
And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line, 1st and 10.
At their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here's Purdy. And he's got McCaffrey open, complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And Kittle going to have a 49ers first down as a tackle made up at the 48-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Purdy. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw, Purdy. That's caught. It's McCaffrey again. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Purdy's throw complete here to Ayuk. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
A second down throw for Purdy. Slant route connects with Deebo Samuel. Short completion, just 4 yards, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. He's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all, but the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 17-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
Call it a gain of 14 for the second play in a row. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Purdy. And this will be incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Purdy will look to throw again here. Touchdown 49ers. Jawan Jennings from 3 yards out. And the 49ers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Titans are going to recover the football. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Still needing 10 yards. Now it's third down. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So Purdy and the Niners down by 10. A minute 37 remaining. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. First and 10. To throw is Purdy. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10, and it'll bring up second.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
That's caught downfield by Kittle. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Purdy to throw. Again to the big tight end, George Kittle. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? A guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field, pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
Purdy to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, you get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
Moody good with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So with an even 30 seconds to go, everything will come down to this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Levis takes a knee here, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all of what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans are winners here as we say so long from Nashville.